A few months ago, Steve invited me to be personally there. I would be delighted to be. However, I was not able to postpone a meeting of a company of which I'm a board member. So many people involved, the owners, strategic planning is the main matter for tomorrow. So I'm sorry not to be there, but I believe this is a very good opportunity to show you how important it is to our company, the strategy concerning CGI. And then let's move. I'll make a presentation of the company because after 8 years we suffered a very deep change, not only concerning the CGI share in our portfolio, but also because the company grew in a manner that I believe it will give the opportunity for us to reinforce our partnership with SinterCast and let's say enlarge this partnership. I'll give a view of what is Tupy today. Tupy is a company that this year we are a 77-year-old company, and we started our life manufacturing cast iron pipe fittings. So very simple. There's an illustration up on the left side of the slide showing what Tupy was in 1938. We are very much involved nowadays in the manufacturing of engine blocks and heads, and Tupy is a company which is very much involved with knowledge. So we had the technical school inspired in the model that Georg Fischer has had there in Europe in the 50s. Also had a research center which worked in we do not have this research center as an independent entity out of the company, but once we stopped the activities of this PDI institution, we absorbed the people that work there in our engineering department. And just to give you an idea, the paper that Tupy published about CGI was in 1960. So at point in time we would not, we didn't know how to produce engine blocks and heads made out of CGI. However, that was the same year that we got involved with the manufacturing of engine blocks and heads. So it was a kind of very parallel. But it took as many as 25 years that we could do the production of engine blocks and heads made out of CGI scale. We made some acquisitions. We were involved in heavy vehicle. We increased our we also started machining operations. When I got here in Tupy, the company was in a big financial stress. However, we made a good work with the team to put this situation aside, and ever since 2003 we made a very comprehensive change in terms of the strategy that led Tupy to make 2 acquisitions in Mexico and to got the leadership in the manufacturing of engine blocks and heads made in Americas and Europe. In 2003 we relaunched the company in the capital markets, and last year once again reinforced the financial situation of the company. So it's a quick story, a company that suffered a very comprehensive change in its portfolio that went to the mainstream is engine blocks and heads, a very high technical entry barrier business, and the involvement in a fight against aluminum applications, which is behind CGI in our view, is a solution, is an important solution for many kinds of let's say chapters of this fight that we have against aluminum, which is a material that competes with the iron for many of the applications, mainly in passenger cars. In commercial vehicles, is a territory dominated by iron. So on the left, we are automotive company, as you can tell on the very left part of the slide. 90% of our business is automotive, mainly engine blocks and heads, as it's shown in the picture, and some of the applications. So pickup trucks, large trucks, machinery, and in passenger cars as well, we have engine blocks share, although it's a smaller part. And what we call hydraulics, we still have the pipe fittings manufacturing. Is a good business. It's something that is kind of cash cow for the company, and we intend to keep it in the long run. So key stats on the right side, the upper right side of the slide. So last year, our revenues were kind of $1.2 billion. The cash generation measured by EBITDA, something like 200 million, margin of 16.3. We have 4 plants, 2 here in Brazil, 2 in Mexico, and 12,000 people working for us, more than 50 automotive customers. We are very much dedicated and focused on risk management. So as you can tell in the lower part, on the right side of the slide, we have NAFTA, we have Latin America, we have Europe, and other regions that we serve. So very diversified. We're the most diversified, let's say, company among the iron casting, cast iron companies in the market, on the automotive market. And by end market, we are also very much diversified. We serve light vehicles, commercial vehicles, off-road vehicles, and we still have this, what we call the hydraulics. Behind this, it's not, let's say, shown here, but also in terms of materials, different alloys that we produce, and CGIs are among them. So it's very important to understand also that when you go into we see geographic, we see end market, and we also see materials, customers that we serve. An illustration, what we have, large scale capacity, 2 plants in Mexico, 2 plants in Brazil, as I mentioned. And concerning the iron blocks and heads market share on the upper part of the right side of the slide, you see that we are the largest company, and then we have some European companies following us. We have the ability to serve different markets, as I mentioned, heavy, off-road, and light vehicles, parts ranging from 1 kilogram to 600 kilograms, and also, as I mentioned, several cast iron grades, CGI, ductile iron, gray, and malleable iron. And we deliver pre or fully machined parts, which is something that only Tupy has among the foundries. I mean, many foundries, either the customer work into machining, or they give this activity to a third party to do. But here, we are the only company that is able, and it's, let's say, it makes it easier for us to improve and to increase CGI in our portfolio, because machining of CGI is something different of most of the applications, and more the customers are giving in this activity, and it's for us it's a good stream of value together with more complex designs and materials such as CGI. So another, let's say, illustration, when you look at the Americas, we are #1 in off-road markets, in the commercial and in the passenger cars, when we add the US and Brazil. If we include Europe, we still have very good foundries in Europe, different from the Americas. We are number 4 in Europe in off-road, number 6 in commercial, and number 7 in passenger cars. When you go to the the Western Hemisphere, we'll see that we are number 1 in off-road, in commercial, and number 4 in passenger cars. So there's an explanation what's comprised here in each segment, but I'm not going to bore you with 57 year. Yeah. So many years relationships with our clients' portfolio. Once again, the most diversified. So Tupy is recognized by many companies as a good partner, able to develop products for different applications. So it's very good because we have geographical and we have diversification also in the client's portfolio, the end markets, and so we are very much focused on risk management. That's how we see managing this business. So strong company, solid financial situation, and a very, let's say, comfortable position as such for the purpose of managing the risks. So where is SinterCast and Tupy in this, let's say, in this history? So an illustration of the kinds of iron that we produce. 1976, I made a mistake, not 1925, but 1976. The first paper about experience with CGI. In 2007, when I was there, personally, this partnership was strong, but CGI was still something about which there were doubts of the future. So even with us, we already had at that point in time the manufacturing in large scale of engines for Ford. At that point, this engine was applied in Jaguars, the Jaguars, if I'm not wrong, and afterwards Land Rovers. These vehicles are no longer the Jaguars and Land Rovers that Ford produced the engines for. These people are no longer, they were acquired by another groups. But however, it reinforced the partnership, and we worked together to develop CGI since 1997, Tupy and SinterCast. We also developed prototypes along with SinterCast. The technology to obtain engine blocks maybe was an important step before we were able to use it in the engine blocks manufacturing. So even before Tupy, Sifunza, which is a Mexican company that now is a Tupy plant, made this first trial in 1994. So it was in the 90s, and the first installation was in the year 2000. And then CGI for a large-scale manufacturing, as I mentioned, of engine blocks with Ford. Ford is very much fond for the iron, the utilization of iron for its products, mainly in the commercial vehicle, small pickups. And we became to be the largest and most diversified CGI manufacturer worldwide. We constantly support research in universities and partnerships with manufacturers of machining tools. So very strong position. I think very different from 2007 when I was there, and there was about the people was asking me, so is it really going ahead? And I was very confident And I remember that for most people, they still looked at that future, uh, maybe not with the same conviction that we have today, and that led SinterCast to the position to a very, let's say, dominant and important position for the control of production of CGI. So a long time, over almost 20 years of partnership. If we include the Mexican trial, over 20 years of partnership, and the growth of Tupy together with SinterCast. Uh, the financial results, we just presented our financial results of the first quarter of this year, and this has a lot to do with the share of high technology and high margin CGI products in our sales. So there's a growing demand that negative trends in the market. We are passing time in the domestic and success CGI that are growing strongly and help to I I highlighted our let's say risk management, and this helps 2012 to acquire this Mexican operation. It's also us to deal with the situation that we have market in Brazil. Uh, and I'm going to show soon applications that are big success, and they are made out of, and we are also installing the capacity to produce CGI in Mexico. This has been progressively a demand from our customers to be in Mexico with these applications, not only in Brazil, but to produce engine blocks in Mexico, made out of CGI. I mean, there's interest from the customers to have Tupy supplying this both from Brazil, both from Mexico, and maybe being Mexico is going to drive more interest from the companies we serve to have CGI closer to their facilities. SinterCast is a very achieves maximum score, is one of our highest ranked suppliers. So let's say partnership, long run partnership. Tell you once again that very different situation to 2011. In telling you that we have now, let's say, ahead of the future ahead, or it's much future ahead will be good. This, as it's for you. In recent years, graph, we from 2010 to 2014 we grew from 8 to 10. It might be seen, no, it's not that relevant. 25% growth. In the lower part, we see the most significant volumes in this period. Ford, Motori is a company, is a subsidiary of the Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, and this engine is a big success. Goes into luxury cars like the Maseratis, goes in serves also SUVs and different platforms of the Fiat Chrysler Automobiles group. And it's very good. It's CGI. MWM is a Brazilian company dedicated to the production of engines, and Audi, I'm sure everybody there knows Audi, so Ford, and maybe not that much VM Motori, MWM. But these are the brands, the most significant customers that we have in our portfolio in this period. 22, as you can see, a step the market. So now we believe that from now on, we cannot tell you because of we are listed company what we expect from now to 2019. But what I can tell you is that we're going to have a significant growth from now on. Maybe a number that will, let's say, lead us to something around 1.5 times what we have. But I cannot, let's say, state or register or record in the slide because otherwise we would have to put this presentation in our website or investor relation website, and then to avoid that we prefer not to record this. But, portion of our portfolio that would be made out of CGI in terms of, and the portfolio is seen to change. Also DAF, which is a and a manufacturer of from Holland. And here some illustrations. So you can see the Audi used in several vehicles of form. So A6, A7, 8, Q5, Q7. So in Volkswagen, Touareg, and Fiat, also is also an application that uses CGI in the engines. Also the V6 3.0 turbo diesel engine Euro 6 is the new standard, the highest standards in terms of emissions regulations, for which CGI is also very useful. In Ford, the V6 EcoBoost 2.7 liter, this is the most used in the most successful pickup truck in the world, which is the F-150 from Ford, along with other applications, some SUVs. And this is important to say, this is a new engine generation, and Ford sells is about aluminum, the F-150 as the all-aluminum car, because the use of aluminum is very comprehensive, but not in the engine. The engine is made out of CGI, and this is the first application for a gasoline engine, which is very good news, because in the US mainly, the supply and demand law works very, very much when you look at the fuel markets. So now we can reach the gasoline engine markets with CGI, which is very, very important. This engine block and the engines that are made out of this engine block are very successful. We are still ramping up, and as for the aluminum fight, there will be the return. It's the first return from aluminum to iron, making the engine out of this engine block made out of CGI. It's very good news for us. It's very good news for you. There's also an engine which is, let's say, which has been in production for more years, which is also for Ford, and it's also for CGI, and the demand from Ford is always growing and growing and growing and growing and growing, and permanently Ford has been asking for more capacity. So for heavier pickup trucks, heavier commercial vehicles. And as for as I mentioned, high power diesel engine blocks, in Chrysler, Ram Truck, Grand Cherokee, Maserati, Ghibli. So a very comprehensive portfolio. Here you see passenger car, the Audi, and 2 pickup trucks, but this is not going to exhaust. I mean, the number of applications that we use at Audi, as you can tell, many different applications, and Ford going back from aluminum to iron by means of a CGI application. So I see a very good future for CGI. I see a very good future for the partnership that we have with you at SinterCast. So we have many different installations here in Brazil and there in Mexico, and I believe that this is a very good tool for us to fight against the competition of other material and to create value for our customers, which is the origin of the value that we create for our company. So this partnership with you is, once again, an important part of the strategy of Tupy as for the portfolio of products that we have and that we use to serve the different end markets and different countries where we work. So I think that this is easier to convince you as concerning the future of SinterCast and CGI is much easier than it were 8 years ago. So we were very fortunate to learn that our strategy was good, and I believe that you were very fortunate to see your company growing and becoming to be the most important, if one of the most important, if not the most important supplier of control systems to manufacturing of CGI. So I thank you very much for your attention. I would be glad to maybe to have some questions to answer. It's up to you, Steve. I told you that I have to go back to some of my activities, but if you will, I'm able here to ask some few questions.
Thank you very much, Luiz Tarquínio. Very interesting presentation, and it's nice to see that, first of all, we have a good and long relationship, and also that you have a very impressive list of relationships with your end users, some of them reaching more than 50 years. So customer loyalty and longevity is not a bad thing. Thank you very much for your time. I think we should not try and challenge the technicalities here by addressing questions across the ocean. So thank you very much. We appreciate that you took the time to address the AGM, and thanks again. With an applause.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, and the applauses go also for you as a very good partner and competent partner. Steve has been always here, so thank you for your attention, and I hope the business keep growing and you have a successful future. That's all we also desire for you, because I believe the success of Tupy depends on the success of our customers, but and SinterCast success also indirectly depend on the success of such customers of Tupy. So we are partners, and we are going to grow together as long as we deliver good solutions. And so far we have been doing it very well. So I incentivize you to live in, and thank you for your time. So you are welcome either here, either in Mexico, to see what we do. And thank you. Next time I hope I can attend the invitation of Steve to be there personally, and to enjoy a little bit the opportunity, not only to be with you, but also to see Sweden, and maybe Steve learn some 2 or 3 words in Swedish. So, and I'll have
the wrong teacher.
To have you as our teacher, my teacher. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And have a good day. Thank you. The applause goes for you.